Everything happens for a reason. God's going to take your ashes and turn it to beauty. All those quotes, when you're in the midst of it, it's not too comforting. But something I have learned is that when you're not just reading scripture and listening to sermons, but you're actually living it, it sticks. It's in there. When I read the story of Joseph and how it reads that Joseph wept, that he hid himself and he wept, that was a decade worth of weeping, because Joseph had been through so much for so long, he didn't have any more tears to shed. Something just shut off in him. I know this because I've been there. When I read about certain men in the Bible and how it says they were righteous, and I keep reading and I'm like, these weren't righteous men, but each of them had one thing in common. They trusted in God, and I think that's what counts. Today I was reading a scripture, and another thing that stood out to me is that Jesus left a certain area because the Pharisees had caught wind that he was baptizing people. But then it says, not him, but his disciples. Now that probably wouldn't have stuck out to me before, but I have been surrounded by religious leaders that only wanted to be puffed up and raised up, and they never taught their people how to go out and feed sheep. But that's what Jesus was doing. He was acting on it. Not only that, but the Son of God was raised around these religious leaders as an unwealthy man. He was a carpenter's son. He was also from Galilee, a place that was very looked down on. Now Jesus remembered this whole situation, so he acted on it. And where did he go from here? He went to Samaria. And from that point where the religious leaders were trying to get together and plot on him, he went to reach out to people that they would have nothing to do with. Everything that you've been through is for a reason, and God will give you beauty for ashes. Be blessed, be encouraged, keep going.